everyone. Thanks for watching. Today I'm joined by Fiona, who I met at National Forum back in August 2019. Yeah. And when she gave a talk at a disability inclusion seminar, and we spoke afterwards and we shared a vision for student Roofbreakers. So yeah, today I'm just going to be interviewing her. So hello, Fiona. Who are you and what do you do?
I'm Fiona and I work at the Christian disability charity Through the Roof as the Church Inclusion Co-Ordinator.
Amazing. And could you tell us a bit about what Through the Roof is and what the vision of Through the Roof is?
Sure. So Through the Roof is a Christian disability charity that has what we call a Roofbreaker project, which comes from the story in Luke 5 when a disabled person is lowered through the roof by his friends to meet with Jesus. And the Roofbreaker project is our UK mission to equip churches to be accessible for disabled people.
Incredible. Okay, thank you so much. And I was wondering if you could, maybe if we go back a little bit, rewind, and you could tell us a bit about your background and how you became a Christian, just talking us through your testimony, because you weren't from a Christian background, is that right?
That's right, yes. So I grew up in a non-Christian family. I sometimes went to church. My brothers were in the choir. But it wasn't, I didn't have any faith. And when I started university, I went to study philosophy at York, and I think going to study philosophy, there must have been some curiosity there. I was obviously searching for something, but I wasn't sure what. And a lot my essays were all arguing that there wasn't a God. I was a complete atheist, and I loved to argue, so I was always arguing in seminars and things that there wasn't a God. Life for me hasn't been easy in terms of my health, so I was born with a rare bone condition which affects mostly my hands and my legs. So I've had 28 surgeries and I'm 30 now, so it's been sort of in and out of hospital and on the hospital waiting list a lot of my life. So it was when I went into hospital whilst I was studying that I believe I first met God. So I was in a very low place with my mental health because of all the surgeries and trying to keep up with my coursework and studying for exams. And I remember significantly praying to a God that I didn't believe in, just saying, God, if you are there, if you're listening to me, I need you to show me that really clearly. So I went back to university when I'd recovered from my hand surgery, and I noticed that the CU were putting on some evangelistic events. So I went along to them. The first one was Is the Bible Reliable?, which was really interesting, but the philosophy part of my mind was trying to reason everything. I went back to the second one, and it was is Jesus, the story of Jesus, and is Jesus real? And by learning about the gospel, I made a response to become a Christian. So really for me, it was atheist one day, a couple of weeks later, I was saved. So God can transform lives so quickly. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. It's just so encouraging to hear how, the CU is such a big part of that as well. So.
Yeah, a huge part. I think I'm so passionate about CUs and sort of evangelistic missions, in particular at Christian unions, particularly because I had I didn't have any connections with Christians before university, and I think people come to university, sort of trying to work out their identity and their beliefs, and it's a really great time to ask the big questions.
Definitely. Amazing. So yeah, thanks for telling us a bit about your story up to you becoming a Christian. What happened how did you get involved with Through the Roof then? How did that come about?
Yeah, so I actually went into teaching in special education needs. That was something I was really interested in, and my hope was to become a hospital school teacher, with so much of my education being in hospitals whilst I was recovering from surgery. But, God has other plans. I had a few jobs in working always in disability. One of them was on a project to support more disabled people to get into employment and living independently. But there was definitely something missing, and I knew that I wanted to reach Christians with the gospel, and particularly people that aren't usually reached with the gospel, and a lot of those people are disabled people. So it might be that churches aren't accessible, or they haven't been able to access, if they have, say, a visual impairment, an accessible Bible. So it's really trying to connect with people who don't know Jesus and have a disability. That's my heart.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, and it's so incredible that with the Student Roofbreakers, we can help raise awareness among students and among all of us about the importance of all the issues that you're bringing up there. So yeah, that's incredible. Do you have something like that you're most excited for about Student Roofbreakers that you could tell us?
I'm so excited about our Student Roofbreakers. So a lot of that obviously comes from my personal experience becoming a Christian at university. But also we have a gap we have, say, nearly 300 roof breakers. We have a big vision out Through the Roof. We would love to see a roof breaker in every church. Somebody, a disability ambassador, to be a bridge between the church or a Christian union and the disabled person. And I think, what's really exciting for me is that we can have more young people, like our future leaders, having a vision and a heart to reach disabled people with the gospel, because there is such a gap at the moment where we don't have many younger people on board.
Amazing. Yeah, that's the whole point behind this group. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And just as a final kind of question, what would be your key message to all the Student Roofbreakers who are watching this video right now? Sort of takeaway message.
Great. I love that. Yeah, takeaway message would be you don't have to be an expert in all disabilities to be a roof breaker. What I love about our roof breaker networks, including our student roof breaker network, is that there's people with all different experiences, all different knowledge and backgrounds. But also maybe some people who don't necessarily have a lot of knowledge about different disabilities, but they have a heart to reach disabled people. And that's what makes a great roof breaker. It's all about the vision and the heart that God's given you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that's a very important point to bring up actually about this group, is that this is in no way a group for people who feel they know everything about disabilities, but in fact it's basically the opposite, isn't it? We're trying to raise awareness and
absolutely
help be more inclusive. So yeah, that's really important you bring that up. So thank you so much.